Have you ever wondered if you're truly on the right path? Do you feel a pull towards something bigger, but aren't quite sure how to recognize the signs that you're fulfilling the divine mission God has set for you? In today's video, we'll explore the signs that show you are walking in God's purpose for your life. The signs that assure you that you're headed in the right direction, even when the road gets tough. Each of us has a unique mission, a plan designed specifically by God. And when we align ourselves with His purpose, we begin to see little confirmations along the way. Inner peace, opportunities, and moments of clarity. These signs are not coincidences. They are divine markers, guiding us, reassuring us, and confirming that we are on the path God intended. We all face moments of doubt. It's easy to question whether we're doing the right thing, especially when we hit obstacles or face challenges. But it's in those moments that recognizing God's signs becomes even more crucial. When we understand the signs of His guidance, it's easier to stay grounded and confident, even when the road feels uncertain. Because the truth is, walking in God's mission isn't just about pushing through the struggles, it's about experiencing the joy, peace, and deep fulfillment that come with living a life aligned with His will. God's mission for us isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. The signs that we're fulfilling His plan bring reassurance and clarity, encouraging us to press forward with renewed strength and purpose. Even in difficult times, knowing that we are aligned with God's purpose gives us the peace that we are on the right track. In this video, we'll take a closer look at these divine signs. We'll help you recognize the small, quiet confirmations that show you are walking in God's path. Sometimes, these signs aren't grand gestures, they're subtle whispers that affirm we're headed in the right direction. And remember, pursuing God's mission isn't just about facing hardships, it's also about personal growth, joy, and peace. These are the signs that prove you're fulfilling the divine calling designed just for you. So, if you're ready to embrace the journey and see the signs that God's mission is unfolding in your life, let's dive in. When you are walking in alignment with God's mission for your life, one of the first and most profound signs is the inner peace you experience. This peace is not merely the absence of external conflict or challenge, but a deep sense of calm and reassurance that comes from knowing you are doing exactly what God has designed for you. In a world filled with uncertainty, confusion, and constant pressure, this peace serves as a steady anchor that keeps you grounded and focused on your purpose. Inner peace comes from trusting in God's guidance and surrendering to His plan for your life. It's a peace that transcends circumstances. It doesn't depend on whether your external environment is smooth or stormy. Rather, it comes from the certainty that God's will is unfolding in your life, and that you are exactly where you are meant to be, doing what you are meant to do. When you align with God's plan, this peace acts as a gentle confirmation that you are in the right place, fulfilling the purpose you were created for. This peace is deeply rooted in faith. When you trust God with your journey, it allows you to experience freedom from worry, fear, and doubt. Even when the path ahead is unclear or when life presents challenges, the inner peace that comes from knowing you are aligned with God's will remains unshaken. It is a constant reminder that you are not alone. God is with you every step of the way. As a result, you can approach life with confidence, even in moments of uncertainty, because you know that you are walking in the footsteps of the divine. This inner peace isn't fleeting. It's not tied to fleeting emotions or external validation. It is an enduring sense of calm that comes from deep within, a sense of clarity and direction that guides your steps. You begin to see life's challenges not as obstacles to your happiness but as opportunities for growth and learning, trusting that God is using these moments to shape you into who you are meant to become. When you align your life with God's purpose, this peace becomes a steady, unshakable force that propels you forward, no matter what life throws your way. In addition to inner peace, another powerful sign that you are walking in alignment with God's mission is the joy in serving. Serving God's purpose isn't just about performing duties or meeting expectations. It's about living in alignment with His will and finding joy in the work you do because it reflects His greater plan for you. This joy is not shallow or fleeting. It is a profound, lasting happiness that comes from knowing that your actions are in harmony with the divine. The joy you experience in serving God's mission is deeply spiritual and transcends the circumstances of your day-to-day life. It isn't contingent upon external success, recognition, or accolades. Instead, it arises from the deep satisfaction of knowing you are fulfilling a divine calling. Whether your service involves working in your community, supporting loved ones, or pursuing your passion with dedication, the joy you feel comes from the knowledge that you are walking the path that God has designed for you. This joy is sustainable, even in the face of difficulties. Serving God's mission doesn't guarantee that life will be easy, but it ensures that the challenges you face have meaning. When you experience joy in your service to God, it becomes a source of strength that helps you persevere through obstacles. Whether you encounter rejection, exhaustion, or discouragement, the joy that comes from knowing you are fulfilling God's purpose gives you the motivation to continue on your path, even when things get tough. This joy reminds you that no effort is ever wasted when you are working for a higher purpose. Moreover, this joy is not just a personal benefit, it extends outward to those around you. When you are filled with joy in serving, it radiates to others. Your actions, your attitude, and your very presence become a reflection of God's love and purpose. This joy becomes contagious, inspiring others to seek the same peace and fulfillment that you have found in following God's mission. It's a gift that you not only receive, but also share with the world. The more you serve, the more joy you find, creating a positive feedback loop that encourages further growth and service. The joy in serving acts as a confirmation that you are on the right path. It is a sign that you are in alignment with God's will and that your life is contributing to His greater plan. Serving God's mission isn't about personal gain or success, but about being part of something much bigger than yourself, a purpose that stretches far beyond individual achievements. The joy you feel in serving is the assurance that you are fulfilling your purpose, and it is a reminder that you are making a difference in the lives of others and in the world at large. When you fulfill God's mission, the joy that accompanies it is not just a reward, but a sign that you are living in alignment with the divine plan. This joy comes from knowing that every action you take, every step you make, is part of a greater purpose. It serves as a spiritual confirmation that you are not just going through the motions of life, but that you are actively participating in the work that God has laid out for you. The joy of fulfilling God's mission is also rooted in the understanding that you are part of God's greater work in the world. It's about knowing that you are making a difference, whether in the lives of individuals, communities, or even the world. Every time you step forward in faith and service, you are contributing to a divine purpose that transcends time and space. This knowledge gives your life meaning and perspective, even when things don't go as planned, or when you encounter resistance. This joy is a deep wellspring that sustains you, even when external circumstances may not seem to reflect success. It's the joy of knowing that, even in difficult times, you are part of a divine narrative that is unfolding in your life and the lives of those around you. When you serve in alignment with God's mission, you understand that the journey itself is just as important as the destination. The joy you experience is not dependent on reaching a specific goal, but on the fact that you are walking the path God has designed for you. One of the most powerful and unmistakable signs that you are fulfilling God's purpose for your life is the appearance of unexpected opportunities. When you are walking in alignment with God's will, doors begin to open in ways you might not have planned or even imagined. These opportunities come at the most unexpected times, but they serve as clear indications that you are on the right path, fulfilling the mission God has entrusted to you. Unexpected opportunities are often divine moments that show you God's providence at work in your life. These opportunities may seem coincidental at first, but when you reflect on them, you realize they are God's way of guiding you toward your purpose. When you are focused on fulfilling God's mission, He will connect you with the right people, place you in the right situations, and provide resources that help you take the next step on your journey. These opportunities are like signposts, confirming that you are on the path that God has designed for you, and that He is actively working behind the scenes to ensure that His plan unfolds in your life. At times, these opportunities may appear completely unrelated to your current focus or goals, but when you take a step of faith and embrace them, you see how God's hand was in the timing and circumstances. For example, you might find that a chance encounter with a person you did not expect leads to a powerful connection that helps you achieve a specific goal. Or perhaps, an unexpected job offer, business opportunity, or change in circumstance opens up new possibilities that align perfectly with your mission. These events often feel like divine interventions, moments when God steps in to open a door that leads you exactly where you need to go. These opportunities can come in many forms: new relationships that help you grow spiritually or professionally, financial blessings that arrive at just the right time, or resources that you never expected but find necessary to continue on your path. Every new connection, every unexpected blessing, is a confirmation that you are walking in alignment with God's will. It is God showing you that He is guiding your steps and providing for you, even in ways that seem surprising or coincidental. When you start to recognize these unexpected opportunities as signs of God's guidance, you can begin to trust that you are exactly where you need to be. They are not mere accidents or random events, but markers placed by God to show you that you are fulfilling your purpose. These opportunities act as spiritual encouragement to keep moving forward, especially during times when you may feel uncertain about your direction. They remind you that God's plan is always in motion, and as long as you stay faithful to your purpose, He will continue to lead you to the next right step. Another essential sign that you are fulfilling God's purpose for your life is the divine guidance you receive in making decisions. Life is full of complex choices, many of which can leave us feeling uncertain or overwhelmed. However, when you are walking in God's will, you will experience moments of clarity where decisions no longer feel as complicated. Instead, you will find that your choices become more intuitive, more aligned with God's purpose, and easier to navigate. This divine clarity is a sign that God is guiding you, helping you make decisions that align with His greater plan for your life. When you are fulfilling God's mission, you will often feel a deep sense of knowing that something is right or wrong. This knowing is not simply based on logic or personal preference, but on an inner conviction that comes from God's presence in your heart. In these moments, decisions are made not just with your mind, but with a sense of peace and assurance that God is at work within you. One way that God guides you is through prayer. When you seek God's guidance in prayer, He will often provide answers in the form of peace, insight, or direction. This divine communication can happen in various ways: a sudden thought or idea that brings clarity, a verse from the Bible that seems to speak directly to your situation, or a feeling of peace that settles in your heart when you make the right decision. These moments are not coincidental. They are God's way of communicating His will and helping you navigate life's challenges. Another way God provides guidance is through intuition. When you are aligned with God's purpose, you often experience a quiet but clear sense of knowing what direction to take. This is the still, small voice that often guides you in the right direction, especially in difficult or ambiguous situations. This intuitive guidance helps you trust yourself and God's presence in your life, knowing that He is leading you toward His plan. At times, this intuition will help you make decisions that may not always make logical sense to others, but they will resonate with your heart because you know they are in alignment with God's will. God also uses life circumstances to guide your decisions. Often, doors will open or close at just the right time, nudging you in the direction that He wants you to go. Sometimes, a decision will become clear simply because other options fall away. These external signs can serve as confirmation that God is working in your life, removing obstacles and opening the way for you to follow His plan. When making tough decisions, you will find that the peace of God will often settle over your heart, providing clarity and confidence. This peace is a key indicator that you are making the right decision. God's guidance will not leave you feeling anxious or uncertain. Instead, it will provide you with a sense of calm assurance. Even if the decision involves taking a step of faith into the unknown, God's peace will assure you that He is with you every step of the way. The more you lean into God's guidance, the clearer it becomes. As you walk in obedience to His will, you will begin to notice that your decisions start to reflect His desires for your life, and you will feel a growing confidence in the choices you make. This confidence is not based on your own strength or understanding, but on the trust that God is leading you in the right direction. When you dedicate yourself to fulfilling God's mission, the outcomes are often more profound than what we might initially expect. Personal growth, stronger relationships, and a deeper sense of spiritual fulfillment are among the most significant fruits of your dedication. These positive results may not always be immediately visible or material, but they are clear signs that you are moving in the right direction and that God is blessing your journey. Personal growth is one of the most important outcomes of walking in God's will. As you commit yourself to His purpose, you will find that you are gradually transformed. You will develop stronger character, greater patience, and deeper wisdom. The challenges you face along the way, along with your willingness to stay committed to God's mission, will shape you into a person who reflects His love, grace, and strength. This growth is not always linear or easy, but it is crucial to becoming the person God designed you to be. Often, the fruits of dedication also manifest in stronger relationships. When you walk in alignment with God's will, you begin to reflect His love and compassion to those around you. Your relationships with others, family, friends, colleagues, and even strangers will deepen as you show more patience, understanding, and kindness. God uses your dedication to serve His purpose to connect you with others who share your mission, building a community that works together for His glory. These relationships provide support, encouragement, and accountability, helping you to grow in your faith and continue on your journey. In addition to personal growth and relationships, you will experience a deeper sense of spiritual fulfillment. When you live in alignment with God's mission, there is a profound satisfaction that comes from knowing you are doing what you were created to do. This spiritual fulfillment doesn't rely on worldly success or recognition, but on the peace and joy that arise from serving God and being part of His greater plan. You begin to feel that your life has meaning and purpose, not based on material achievements, but on the eternal significance of serving God's will. These results are not always immediate or easily recognized, but as you continue to walk in dedication to God's mission, you will begin to notice these signs of growth, peace, and purpose. God's blessings will align with your journey, and His timing will ensure that you receive what you need at the right moment. The blessings you receive will affirm that you are in His will and that your dedication is leading you to the spiritual richness He has promised. It is important to understand that fulfilling God's mission does not mean that your path will be without difficulties. In fact, hardships and trials are often an integral part of the journey. God does not promise a life free from struggles, but He does promise that He will be with us in the midst of them. The trials you encounter are not meant to derail or discourage you, but rather to help you grow and mature in your faith. They serve as opportunities for personal development and spiritual transformation. Facing challenges is one of the most effective ways to build character. Through hardships, we learn to trust God more deeply, to rely on His strength, and to grow in patience. Each trial that we face becomes a stepping stone, helping us to develop resilience and perseverance. Over time, we become better equipped to handle future difficulties, and we learn to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. For example, when you face setbacks or obstacles in your mission, it can feel like a moment of defeat. However, these moments can also be seen as opportunities to lean deeper into God's presence. When things aren't going as planned, it often brings you to a place where you must rely more fully on His wisdom and guidance. The trials help you grow spiritually, teaching you to walk by faith and not by sight. As you learn to trust God in times of difficulty, your relationship with Him deepens, and your faith strengthens. These challenges often reveal aspects of our character that need to be refined. They expose our weaknesses and flaws, but they also provide the perfect environment for God to shape us into His image. Just as gold is purified through fire, your faith is strengthened and purified through life's trials. The more you endure, the more refined you become. These experiences also teach you the value of humility and dependence on God, reminding you that you cannot accomplish His mission alone, but only with His strength and guidance. The strength that you gain through overcoming trials equips you to handle even greater tasks in the future. You will find that the challenges that once seemed overwhelming become opportunities to prove your faith and serve others with greater compassion and understanding. As you go through trials, you develop a stronger foundation, one that is built on God's promises, not on your own abilities. This foundation becomes a source of strength and stability, both in your personal life and in your service to others. God's purpose is often fulfilled through our difficulties. When we endure challenges with faith and perseverance, we become a testimony to others of God's faithfulness and power. Our ability to overcome adversity becomes a living witness to God's strength and grace, showing others that through Christ, we can do all things. These trials do not just shape us, they also enable us to minister to others who are facing similar struggles. Perseverance is key to walking out God's mission. It is through endurance that we grow in character and maturity. When you continue to serve God despite challenges, you are developing the kind of perseverance that not only helps you stay on course, but also impacts those around you. You become a living example of faith and dedication, and your perseverance becomes a light for others who may be struggling. The strength you gain through perseverance is often spiritual, not just physical or emotional. It comes from trusting in God's faithfulness, knowing that He will never leave you or forsake you. This strength enables you to walk confidently through the storms of life, knowing that God is with you and that He is using each experience to mold you into the person He designed you to be. In conclusion, the fruits of dedication and hardships are abundant when you are fulfilling God's mission. While challenges are an unavoidable part of the journey, they are not meant to break you, but to shape you. The positive results of your dedication, such as personal growth, stronger relationships, and spiritual fulfillment, will manifest over time, showing that your efforts are aligned with God's purpose for your life. At the same time, the hardships you face will not only strengthen your faith, but also provide opportunities for you to grow in ways that you could never have imagined. As you continue to endure, trust, and persevere, you will see that each trial brings you one step closer to becoming the person God has called you to be. The strength and perseverance you develop through these challenges will equip you for even greater tasks ahead. Know that God is with you every step of the way, using every moment, both the triumphs and the trials, to bring you closer to fulfilling His divine mission for your life. Signs that show you are fulfilling God's mission include inner peace, joy in service, unexpected opportunities, divine guidance, and the fruits of your dedication. These signs serve as clear indicators that you are walking the path God has prepared for you. As you follow His will, you will experience a deep sense of purpose and fulfillment that goes beyond external success. When you are aligned with God's mission, your life becomes a reflection of His purpose for you. You will feel His protection and guidance with every step you take, knowing that you are not walking alone. These signs of alignment reassure you that you are on the right track and that God is with you, guiding you toward the blessings He has in store. Continue walking in faith and trust in God's plan. Every sign you encounter along the way will affirm that you are heading in the right direction. Even during challenging times, these signs serve as confirmation that your journey is not in vain. Your dedication to God's mission will eventually lead you to even greater blessings and a fulfilling life, one filled with purpose, peace, and joy that only He can provide. If this message has inspired you, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more uplifting content. By subscribing, you join a community that is dedicated to growth, faith, and purpose-driven living. Never doubt the mission God has given you. The signs you receive will always guide you toward fulfilling the divine purpose He has set for you. Stay steadfast in your journey, knowing that when you complete the path He has designed, you will experience a deep sense of peace and joy, the kind that comes only from fulfilling your true calling in life. Keep moving forward with faith and trust, because the best is yet to come.